Hey, what is up, y'all? This is Travis, aka The Raw View, and this is Project Red Gotham Build Log 2. There's a link to all my sponsors in the description below. Make sure you go and check them out. MemoryC.com probably has some of the best prices I have ever seen on RAM. Mod My Mods has a very good selection of water-cooled parts, and they have great prices. And Ice Mods has probably some of the best custom sleeved cables I have personally ever seen. So in today's build log, we are going to do the final case mods. The first case mod that we're going to make is inside the case right here. There's these two screw holes right here, and the problem is with those two screw holes right now is that the radiator actually runs into them, so they need to be cut off. The next case mod I have to make is in the front of the case, so I can run the tubes from one side to the other without having to bend the tubes, if that makes sense. So it's going to go from one radiator straight to the other radiator with two 90-degree angles. Now, how I'm actually going to do this and mark this is by installing the radiator on that side, take a 90-degree fitting, put a tube actually in the 90-degree fitting, and then use a marker or a piece of chalk or a marking pen that you can get from Home Depot to mark where the hole needs to be. And then I'm going to go cut it out really quick. As you can tell in the front, it looks like crap. And so I wanted to show you this though, because this is what I mean by filing. I have to go back outside and file this. So let's go do that now. And done. Look at it after I filed it. It looks a lot smoother, a lot cleaner. I think I'm actually going to try to paint that metal lip black actually by spray painting black into a little pan, right? Or on a little paper plate or whatever, right? Dip your finger in it and then run it along the inside of this just to give it some black paint. You don't have to go and spray the whole thing. It's it's almost out of sight, so you don't really even have to paint it, but I want to just to kind of clean it up a little bit more. All right, next we are actually going to be moving on to the front of the case right here. Now, the front of the case is going to be kind of interesting. So I'm going to drill a hole here, and I'm going to drill a hole here. And the reason I'm drilling those holes is because I'm going to mount a white piece of acrylic into those holes through a nut on the other side. Now, I have a very small amount of space between the reservoir tanks and this other side, so I had to find the perfect screws and the perfect nuts to fit right there, because I'm talking I have maybe 3 millimeters to fit a nut on the other side. So now you can see the holes are drilled, and I'm going to move on to drilling the white acrylic. As you can see, I marked where the holes were going to be drilled, and the hole on the left right now unfortunately is about 1 millimeter off. So I'm just going to go back and make the hole a little bit wider and a little bit bigger, and it should work just fine. Perfect. Now I'm going to find the center of the acrylic and cut out where the wires are going to pass through. Now it's time to do a test fit to make sure that everything fits right in place. And sure enough, the front panel is not snapping on because of this little lip right here inside. So I'm going to go grind that down really quick. Boom. And now it fits perfectly. Now I'm making sure that the SSDs are going to be placed in the right spot. Then I'm going to tape the two SSDs together because they have some artwork on them that needs to line up. And I'm going to take that and mount them to the acrylic with the help of my wife to make sure that everything is centered. And now I'm going to do another test fit. With the SSDs mounted, it was really easy for me to see that the lower left corner was bent on the case, and it was causing the acrylic to be pushed out just a little bit. So I grabbed a pair of pliers and bent that back down and proceeded to put the case back together. This is when I found out that the top was not sliding on because of these little tabs were running into the acrylic, so I just had to file them down just a little bit, and bam, done, perfect. And the last thing that I actually have to do to the case is going to be the custom windows on the side panels and on the front, but I'm saving that till the very end. That way I don't scratch the acrylic in the process of completing the build by putting it on at the very end. And that is about it for this video. Again, huge shout out to all my sponsors, Ice Mods, for sending me the custom sleeved cables. They look absolutely beautiful. Next, we have Mod My Mods. They sent me the Alpha Cool radiators. Huge shout out to them. And last but not least, huge shout out to MemoryC.com for sending me 4 sticks of DDR4 RAM for a total of 32 gigs of Trident Z G-Skill RAM.